look at Rakye's room. Rakye is not here at the moment, but I will say this about Rakye, you know that phrase, still waters run deep. Rakye is still waters running deep. He's very quiet at first, but once you get to know him and you get him talking, his mind is very deep and he's very insightful based on listening to other people and then absorbing what he wants to do. So I will let his words speak for him. This digital art piece by Rakye is called Hope. To me, the dove is a symbol of life and death. It is also a connection to God. It is also a symbol for hope because it represents the light in the darkness. This is blue, well, what I imagine to be a blue spirit angel based on a conversation that I had with Rakye, although I'm not entirely sure that that is the title. He did express to me that this was an angelic type spirit that was coming out of this kind of vortex and kind of a tunnel. And so we see persons at the very, very bottom, so you can get a sense of scale for how large this figure in the center is. And he would have produced this as well after learning about the work of Amos Ferguson and how he is such a great storyteller. So here he was also trying to tell his version of a story. The Dove by Rakye Martin was created using acrylic on canvas board. And as you can see, it's that image that's repeated from his digital art piece. And like all of the students, the digital art piece came from the storyboard that they were creating with Mr. Shea Applewhite when he was getting them to talk about family. And we were looking at an excerpt from the Celestine Prophecy. So you see how powerful that storyboarding technique was to them. And lastly, for Rakye, we see an African mask. Rakye is coming to us from a Kefren International Academy. And he would have expressed to me that he would have seen the symbol that is behind the African mask very often, which would have been the symbol of the Ankh, which represents life and rebirth. And so he mentioned to me that this is a symbol that he often sees in his school daily, and they talk about it a lot. So obviously it kind of seeped into his own work. There's a little bit of sequins there on the face and on the Ankh as well, you know, imitating that kind of Junkanoo-esque kind of intuitiveness as well. Okay, so now we're moving on to...
Can I add a little thing about Rakye?
Oh yes, certainly.
Just because he was one of the most quiet students at the beginning of the workshop, but towards the end, he really began to speak publicly and challenge even some of the assumptions that we have had as educators. And we learned a lot of things through engaging with him and his artwork. So it's, of course, a shame he can't be here today, but I just wanted to add how much what you're seeing here is, you know, his spirit coming out. Yeah, and you know, as you saw in the kind of the promo. So yeah, I just wanted to add that.
That's awesome. I'm sure he's going to appreciate too that, because we're recording these on Facebook Live so that we can then put this recording up on the Children's Voices 242.org.